I figure that even in this case, what we say and sometimes passes for colloquialism, that prevention is better than cure. It also applies in this case. Would it therefore be presumptuous of me to assume that, gender-based violence can dramatically reduce? Maybe we can significantly curb it if feminist advocacy are championed and perhaps driven by male allies. I'm talking about, the sexual and physical assaults that are reported, or maybe those those that go unreported. I'm talking about, that's the intimate partner violence and violations that we hear of, and the many that are unheard of, the constant emotional abuses that women complain of, and even those that they often choose to let go, to ignore. This whole mix of ugly and unfortunate occurrences, which are proportionate to women and young girls, even though we know they happen to boys sometimes, would it make a whole lot of difference if the gender largely held responsible as perpetrators are also largely responsible for leading the charge against gender-based violence in a country like Nigeria?
Yes, there's a global campaign around E for She's, which speaks to men also taking on the campaign to ensure that there is no excuse for any form of gender-based violence. And this, I think, would help reduce the instances of seeing men as perpetrators all the time, but as campaigners against all forms of sexual and gender-based violence. And I also think that this would continue to enlighten the young boys coming up, to also believe in the cause of preventing and not being perpetrators of any form of gender-based violence. So the campaign is a global one for E for She's, and it's something that all men and boys should be part of. At the same time, women are also for men, because we've also started recording increase in the kind of violence that boys experience from boys. So, and that's why we keep saying it's not just about ending violence against women and girls alone. It's about ending all forms of gender-based violence. When you talk about gender-based violence, it means that it involves men, women, boys, and girls. But because women have been at the receiving end for years, is why we're saying stop all forms of violence against women and girls, and let's have a peaceful world.